Welcome to part 40 of the Ultimate Unsolved Mysteries Iceberg, where we explore true crime, urban legends, mysterious disappearances, myths and legends, internet mysteries, and more. Also, make sure to hit that notification bell since I drop new content all the time. The disappearance of Chris Creamers and Lisanne Froon. In April 2014, Chris Creamers and Lisanne Froon, two young women from the Netherlands, embarked on a journey to Panama for what was expected to be an adventurous trip. Their disappearance soon after has perplexed investigators, enthralled the global community, and spawned numerous theories about what really happened to them. Chris Creamers, 21, and Lisanne Froon, 22, were roommates in Amersfoort, Netherlands. Both had recently completed their university studies. Chris had graduated in cultural social education, specializing in art education at the University of Utrecht, and Lisanne had just finished a degree in applied psychology. They arrived in Panama for a 6-week vacation, intended to include Spanish classes and volunteering with children. The sequence of events began on April 1st, 2014, when they traveled to Boquete, a small town in Panama, known for its coffee plantations, beautiful scenery, and hiking trails. They were hosted by a local family and planned to start volunteering at a local school. The day after their arrival, they went hiking near the clouded forests around the Baru volcano, accompanied by the host family's dog. The dog returned home without them, which first raised alarms about their whereabouts. Concern grew when neither of the women showed up for their volunteering session on April 2nd. Searches began shortly after their disappearance was confirmed. 10 weeks later, a local woman turned in Lisanne's backpack, which she found by a riverbank near her village. Inside the backpack were 2 pairs of sunglasses, $83 in cash, Lisanne's passport, a water bottle, a camera, undergarments, and both women's phones. The condition and contents of the backpack raised more questions. Analysis of the cell phones revealed numerous attempts to call emergency services on April 1st, the day of their hike. However, unfortunately, none of the calls went through due to lack of reception in the somewhat remote area. Further investigation into the camera found photos from the day they went missing, showing them on a trail near the Continental Divide. However, it was the subsequent photos, taken in the dark, showing rocky terrains and twigs with plastic bags tied to them, that deepened the mystery. In June 2014, close to where the backpack was found, a local woman discovered a boot with a foot still inside. This led to a more extensive search that uncovered more remains, including bones that forensic analysis confirmed belonged to Chris and Lisanne. Despite these grim discoveries, the exact circumstances surrounding their disappearance remain largely unknown. Theories about what happened to them vary widely. Some speculate that they simply got lost or fell accidentally after straying from the marked paths in an unfamiliar and challenging terrain. Others suggest they may have encountered a threat in the wilderness or from another person, though evidence to support this is inconclusive. Local knowledge and the geography of the area offer some clues. The dense jungle around the Baru volcano is known for its treacherous paths and steep declines. Sudden weather changes can further complicate navigation and hiking conditions, potentially leading to tragic accidents. The discovery of their belongings along a river suggests they might have tried to follow the water downstream as a survival strategy. In the years following their disappearance, the case has seen numerous developments, including investigations by both Panamanian authorities and private detectives hired by the families. Yet, many questions remain unanswered. The lack of clear evidence has prevented a definitive understanding of the events that led to their tragic end. The Black Volga. The Black Volga is an urban legend deeply rooted in the cultural fabric of Eastern Europe, particularly in Russia, Poland, and Ukraine. This tale involves a mysterious Black Volga car that allegedly appeared during the 1960s to the 1980s, associated with numerous spooky occurrences and disappearances. The Black Volga legend centers around a black GAZ Volga, a type of car manufactured in the Soviet Union that became a symbol of authority as it was often used by government officials. The story gained traction during a time of intense political repression, where trust in the government was minimal and fear of abductions by the state was real. According to the tales, the Black Volga was said to roam the streets, particularly targeting little ones. Eyewitness accounts varied significantly, with some claiming the car was driven by nuns, priests, or even state officials. Other versions suggested that the car appeared out of nowhere, often accompanied by a chilling silence or a peculiar hum. This vehicle was not just a symbol of fear, but also served as a cautionary tale, warning individuals, particularly the young, about the dangers of their surroundings. One of the most chilling aspects of the Black Volga legend is the personal stories that have been passed down through generations. For instance, in Poland, there was a widespread belief that children who approached the car were never seen again. Several theories have been proposed to explain the phenomenon of the Black Volga. One popular theory is that it was a product of mass hysteria. During the Cold War era, the fear of espionage and government interference in daily life was high. The Black Volga could have been an embodiment of these fears, a phantom vehicle that represented the omnipresent threat posed by the government. Another theory suggests that the legend of the Black Volga was used as a tool to control behavior. By instilling fear in the population, particularly among children, parents and authorities could ensure more cautious behavior, adherence to curfews, and avoidance of strangers. Finally, some believe that the stories might have a basis in reality, where actual Black Volgas were used discreetly by the government or criminals, and the tales were exaggerated over time. This theory is supported by the fact that black luxury cars were a rare sight and could have easily been a sign of power and elicited fear among the general populace. Whether the stories have any factual basis or are merely the products of collective fear, they have become a significant part of the folklore in the regions where they originated. Notably, this case has some similarities to the Phantom Social Workers case previously discussed in this series. If you're enjoying my content, please hit the like and subscribe buttons and the notification bell. Also, I release content very regularly, so I can't emphasize this enough. Ring the bell and turn on all notifications so you're never behind on this series. Also, if you really want to take it to the next level, please consider signing up for a YouTube membership or a Patreon membership. You can support for as little as 99 cents a month. Remember to join the Discord as well. We've got nearly 100 members at this point. The Demon Cat of the Capitol. The Demon Cat of the Capitol, often referred to as DC by those familiar with its tale, is a legend steeped in the atmosphere of Washington, D.C.'s past. The story of the Demon Cat supposedly begins in the underbelly of the Capitol building. The Capitol, constructed in the late 18th century, has been the venue of numerous historical events, but few are aware of its lesser-known residents: cats. These felines were initially brought in to control the exploding rat population. And yeah, as I'm going through this recording, I just need to add a quick note here. The rats were not literally exploding, though a population of exploding rats would make for a good urban legend. Get out there and spread it, people. Anyway, back to the Demon Cat of the Capitol. Over time, they became part of Capitol lore, but one cat, in particular, seemed to transcend its earthly life to become a ghostly legend. During the 19th century, as the tale goes, sightings of a mysterious cat began to circulate among Capitol guards and maintenance staff. Described as an ordinary cat that could grow to the size of a tiger in moments of alarm, It was seen predominantly during the night, particularly before national tragedies or significant political changes. The most notable sightings of the demon cat date back to the early 1900s. Guards reported encountering the cat in the small hours of the morning, especially in the dimly lit corridors of the Capitol's basement. According to these accounts, the cat would appear normal at first, but as one approached or it felt threatened, it would swell in size and its eyes would glow menacingly before it disappeared. Anecdotes from those who claim to have seen the cat often include details of the cat vanishing into thin air or through solid walls, leaving no trace but an eerie air of foreboding. Reports peaked in the 1940s, with some suggesting that the cat was seen before significant events such as the stock market crash of 1929 and before the onset of World War II. The physical description of the demon cat varies, but several elements remain consistent in eyewitness testimonies. These include its sudden change in size, glowing eyes, and its tendency to vanish suddenly. Its appearances are also said to be an omen of misfortune or a herald of change. Skeptics argue that the sightings were products of the guards' imaginations, spurred by the solitude and silence of their night shifts in the vast, echoing halls of the Capitol. This theory is supported by the lack of any concrete evidence of the cat's existence, such as photographs or video recordings, which are plentiful for other areas of the Capitol. There are several theories about the origins of the demon cat. One popular theory suggests that the cat was a pet of one of the Capitol's original caretakers, whose spirit remained in the building after its demise. Another theory posits that the cat is a manifestation of the collective anxiety and stress of the nation, appearing before events that cause national stress or sorrow. Some folklore enthusiasts believe that the cat is a guardian of the Capitol, a spectral sentinel watching over the nation's legislative heart. Others suggest more unorthodox theories, including dimensional rifts or a time-traveling cat. Another theory suggests that the cat was sent by alien life forms to observe the American governmental process. In favor of this theory, the cat stopped being seen around the time the atomic bombs were dropped, and alien sightings ramped up massively. The New Zealand Mandela Effect. The location of New Zealand Mandela Effect is a particularly intriguing case of collective false memory. A significant number of people remember the geographical positioning of New Zealand differently from its actual location. For anyone unaware, the Mandela Effect describes a situation where large groups of people share the same specific false memory of an event or fact, which contradicts generally accepted reality. In the case of New Zealand, the Mandela Effect manifests in the collective misremembering of its location relative to Australia. New Zealand is located southeast of Australia, approximately 1,200 miles away across the Tasman Sea. However, some individuals recall it being positioned northeast of Australia, or even directly south, rather than to the southeast. These misremembrances contribute to ongoing debates and discussions about geographical memories and the reliability of cognitive mapping in humans. This collective false memory could be influenced by several factors. One prevalent theory suggests that distortions arise from the various map projections used over time, which can significantly alter the perceived sizes, shapes, and positions of land masses. For example, the Mercator projection is notorious for its distortion of areas, particularly as one moves away from the equator. This once popular projection could contribute to misconceptions about the size and location of countries like New Zealand. Furthermore, cognitive psychology offers insights into how and why these false memories might form. The human memory system is not a flawless recording mechanism, but is rather prone to errors during the processes of encoding, storing, and recalling information. Memories can be influenced by numerous factors, including media exposure, educational materials, and personal biases. Sometimes, when there is a gap in our memories, the brain fills it with plausible, though incorrect information, a process known as confabulation. Social and cultural exposure also plays a significant role. People might associate New Zealand with certain images or contexts seen in media, like films and television, which can skew their perception of its geographical context. For instance, New Zealand's portrayal as the lush, isolated backdrop in movies such as The Lord of the Rings might enhance a sense of it being further away from other land masses. However, believers in the Mandela effect generally hold that this collective memory issue is actually explained more accurately by parallel realities. Anyway, have a look at a map and tell me if New Zealand is where you thought it was or not. Personally, I think the best explanation for this Mandela effect is that most people don't actually know where New Zealand is precisely, but do know that it is near Australia. Therefore, when they hear someone suggest that it was in a different location near Australia, they engage in the confabulation process described earlier. Black cats. Black cats have long been subjects of mythology, superstition, and curiosity across various cultures. Known for their sleek, dark fur and mysterious demeanor, these cats have a history that spans from revered symbols of luck to unfortunate targets of fear. Historically, black cats have held a paradoxical place in society. In ancient Egypt, where cats were considered sacred, black cats in particular were believed to bring good luck and were so revered that harming one could result in severe penalties. Moving to Europe in the Middle Ages, the perception of black cats took a darker turn. They were often associated with witches and misfortune. This fear was so pervasive that it led to the widespread mistreatment of black cats. This action, ironically, became a bad omen in itself, especially as these animals were beneficial in controlling pests. Later, during the reign of King Charles I of England, possession of a black cat was considered his lucky charm. The king cherished his black cat so much that after the cat's passing, he proclaimed that his luck was gone. According to legend, the day after the cat's demise, Charles I was arrested, which later led to his non-consensual ending, reinforcing the superstition around the protective power of black cats in royal circles. Moreover, in British folklore, a black cat crossing one's path is considered good luck, contrary to the American superstition, where it is often seen as a bad omen. In Scottish lore, the arrival of a strange black cat to a home signifies prosperity, while in Japan, black cats are believed to attract suitors for single women. Genetically, the black coat of these cats is the result of a high concentration of melanin. A specific genetic mutation causes this, making their fur not only black, but also sometimes giving it a rusty hue in sunlight. However, research indicates that the genetic traits responsible for a cat's black coat may offer them an advantage in survival, suggesting they could have a better immune response to certain diseases. Further, since they are stealth predators that are mostly active at night, cats benefit significantly from dark coats. One of the most famous black cats in literary history is the cat from Edgar Allan Poe's short story, The Black Cat, where the feline becomes central to an unsettling tale of psychological horror. This story, while fictional, echoes the dark aura mystically assigned to black cats in folklore. Historically, black cats have lower adoption rates in shelters compared to cats of other colors. This phenomenon, often referred to as black dog syndrome, affects black cats similarly, possibly due to enduring superstitions. The Red Room Curse. The Red Room Curse, originating from Japan, is an intriguing digital age urban legend that taps into deep-seated fears enhanced by internet culture. Rooted in the late 1990s and early 2000s, The legend speaks of a malevolent pop-up that appears on a user's screen with a disturbing prompt. This pop-up is accompanied by a list of names, including the viewer's own. According to the pop-up, the previous names are the prior victims of the curse, with the viewer's own name being the latest on the list. According to the legend, the individual will then feel an eerie presence looming behind them. This presence will then slowly suck the life out of the individual, with the individual subsequently slowly losing consciousness. Eventually, they will be discovered in their residence, in a room where the walls are covered in red. And since this is YouTube, let's just say this was painted red with ketchup. Historically, the curse is associated with a specific Adobe Flash animation that became popular in the early 2000s. The animation features a scenario where interacting with the cursed pop-up leads to tragic outcomes. This narrative quickly spread across the internet, gaining notoriety as it played into the widespread anxiety about the unknown digital territories that were emerging at the time. Despite its fictional origins, the Red Room curse has been linked to real-life incidents, adding a layer of ominous credibility to the tale. Notably, it was mentioned in media reports surrounding a tragic event in 2004 in Sasebo, Japan, where a young individual was linked to the curse following a grave incident at a Sasebo elementary school. This involved a young girl, referred to as Girl A, due to her age, who caused a life-taking incident involving another student. It was reported that Girl A had shown interest in the Red Room curse animation, with the video bookmarked on her computer. This connection brought significant attention to the legend, merging it with a real-world event, and amplifying the public's fear and fascination with the potential dangers of the digital world. Currently, accessing the original webpage is challenging due to the closure of GeoCities and the discontinuation of Adobe Flash. From a psychological and cultural perspective, the curse exploits the potent symbolism of the color red, which is often associated with danger, warning, and prohibition across various cultures. This aspect of the curse is critical as it taps into universal human emotions, such as fear and apprehension, which are amplified in the isolation of one's interaction with the digital world. Let me know in the comments or on Discord if you have any suggestions for other internet mysteries or internet urban legends. The disappearance of Owen Parfitt. Owen Parfitt lived in Shepton Mallet, a small town in Somerset, England in the 18th century. Parfitt had a colorful past, including his service in the military abroad, along with stories of bravery, piracy, and, as you may have guessed, stories involving the ladies. By the time of his disappearance, he was in his 60s or early 70s, suffering from severe physical disabilities that left him almost completely immobile. He lived with his sister Mary, who was his primary caretaker. On a summer evening in June 1763, Parfitt, wearing his old sea clothes, was sitting outside his house, a common practice for him, as he enjoyed watching the street activities. His sister helped him out to his usual spot by the front door, and then went back inside to continue her chores. When she returned, Parfitt had vanished, despite his inability to move independently and the lack of any disturbances noted by neighbors or passers-by. The disappearance of Owen Parfitt prompted an immediate search. The local community, stunned by the abruptness of the event, rallied together, but no trace of him was ever found. The local authorities conducted a formal investigation, but no evidence could explain how someone in Parfitt's condition could disappear so suddenly and completely. Several theories have been proposed over the years to explain what happened to Owen Parfitt. One popular theory suggests that he was abducted, possibly by someone he knew, as it would have been almost impossible for a stranger to approach and remove him without attracting attention. Another theory speculates that perhaps he had arranged for someone to help him leave, desiring to end his days elsewhere, away from his life of dependency and immobility. Additionally, some more supernatural explanations have also surfaced. Local folklore suggests that Parfit, who often boasted of his dubious past and dealings with dark and mystical forces, might have been taken by supernatural means. Stories circulated that perhaps a supernatural force he had once consorted with came back to claim him. With no physical evidence, witnesses, or plausible explanations, the case is as cold today as it was over 250 years ago. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you haven't done so already. As usual, I love you all, and thank you all for your support. Every time I upload, I'm constantly in shock by how many of you love and appreciate my content. Also, if you want to go the extra step, remember to consider a YouTube membership or the Patreon, and to join the Discord server. Shout out to my patrons Noah Schubert, Iced Mocha, Kurt the Squirt, Monoxide Wendigo, Jeffer Metcalf, Z-Volts, Director Delta, Unknown Delusions, Faye, Jack Russell, Boomslang, and Blasphemous. Big shout out to YouTube members Jordan All and Lowlife Baphomet. Until next time, stay safe and healthy. Peace out, everyone.